Sound of the alarm clock. One of the worst noises known to man. If I walked into any room and was forced to listen to that noise for hours on end, I would punch a wall. I would be so frustrated. Unfortunately, for those with autism, this is everyday life because the sound of a pen clicking or the sound of a page turning can sound like an alarm blaring in their ears. A while ago, Professor Barker asked the class, "Who here has someone in their life who has autism?" And a majority of us raised our hands, myself included. Not only do I have someone in my life who has autism, but I've been working with children with autism for years now. And when it comes to working with autism, it is inevitable that you would witness many, many meltdowns. And so over the years, I have gathered a few tips and tricks on how to make addressing a meltdown less daunting. So today, I, Joyce Flores, am going to teach you all the 4 steps to comforting a child with autism during a meltdown. And although this is for children, you can use it in older individuals, but I only have experiences with children. So, the 4 steps to comforting a child with autism during a meltdown are: 1. Remain calm. 2. Maintain a helpful attitude throughout. 3. Locate and address the cause of the meltdown. And optionally, number 4, comfort the individual in a way unique to them. Let's start off with step number 1, remaining calm. The first step to remaining calm is to take a deep breath. I don't know why, it just helps. The second step in remaining calm is to gather confidence. Whether it's real or fake, I don't care, just gather it. Because if you don't believe you can help someone, then you will not be able to. The third step in remaining calm is to actively hold on to your calm and confidence. Because many people think that remaining calm is a passive choice. It is not, because the moment you let go of your calm and confidence, you're going to have to get it back. So hold on to it and remember to do that. The second step in comforting a child with autism during a meltdown is to maintain a helpful attitude throughout. The first step in doing this is to stop focusing on yourself. I understand that it can be extremely frustrating for us to deal with meltdowns on a regular basis, but the longer we focus on this ourselves, the longer it's going to take for us to actually help. The second step in maintaining a helpful attitude is to shift your focus from yourself onto the person who needs help right now, which is the person experiencing a meltdown. Yes, it's true that witnessing a meltdown can be extremely difficult, but I can assure you it is a million times more difficult to experience a meltdown firsthand. So keep that in mind. The third step in comforting a child with autism during a meltdown is to locate and address the cause of the meltdown. The first step to doing this is to check the child. Do they have cuts? Do they have a fever? Or does their clothing look uncomfortable? If it's not these things, go on to the second step, which is to check the outside stimulus. Maybe it's too loud. Maybe it smells weird. If you are able to locate the cause of the meltdown, now you can go on to step 3, which is to remove the cause of the meltdown. So if it's too loud, remove the noise. If it smells weird in your room, then remove the onion, even if your grandma says it will get rid of coronavirus. If you are unable to remove the stimulus, go on to step 4, which is if you are unable to remove the cause of the meltdown, remove the person from the situation. If you are out in public, you cannot tell people to quiet down. You cannot ask sales associates to dim the lights. So what you can do is remove the person from the situation and get them comfortable, because that's your main goal in helping someone who's having a meltdown, is to get them comfortable. Now we go on to the 4th, final and optional step, which is to comfort the individual in a way unique to them. The first part of doing this is to be familiar with them, which is to know them as an individual. You will have to know what they like before you can help. The first thing you gotta think is, do they want their stuffed animal? Maybe they want their phone. Because if you can give them things they like while they're having a meltdown, it could distract them to a point where the meltdown begins to fizzle out, and that is what we want. The second step in comforting a child with autism in a way unique to them is to mimic what their parents or guardians do, as well as what their family members do to calm them down. For instance, if the child you're working with has parents who primarily speak to them in Spanish, speak to them in Spanish. If their family members typically hold their hands and sing to them, hold their hands and sing to them. Just do your best to give them something familiar and stable because during a meltdown, that's what they crave. To conclude, I understand. I understand that dealing with meltdowns can be extremely challenging, but there are 4 steps you can take to make addressing a meltdown less daunting. Step 1, remain calm. Step 2, maintain a helpful attitude throughout. Step 3, locate and address the cause of the meltdown. And optionally again, step 4, comfort the person in a way unique to them. The more we focus on how people with autism's meltdowns make us feel, the more we feel miserable and trapped. But the sooner we look at the person who's experiencing a meltdown as an individual who needs help, the sooner we can make things better for them and in doing so become more compassionate. Thank you so much for listening to what I have to say, and I hope you all learned something today.